The T dating app situation is disgusting. What is this?
Okay, we gotta talk about the T dating app situation. So we're gonna go over what the app is, why it was made, the whole gender war situation that it's caused, why people are getting doxxed left and right, the actual insane psychopaths actually using this app, and the potential legal liability for a lot of the people involved. Subscribe or you become EDP445 on the T app.
Let's up those numbers!
Okay, so quick context. Basically, there's an app called T Dating Advice that's actually #1 on the App Store in the US right now. And essentially, it's a women-only app where the purpose was to provide dating safety tools to women and sort of protect them from dangerous, creepy criminal men, right? So it's like a gossip app.
Do you guys want to hear something crazy that's actually true? The only difference a lot of the time between a woman thinking that a guy is confident versus a woman thinking that a guy is creepy is how attractive the guy is saying the things they're saying. If Danny DeVito goes up to a random girl and he tells her, you have some really nice feet in those sandals, she's gonna look at him, she's gonna spit in his face, right? But if Chris Hemsworth does the same, it's like, oh wow, you know, like that guy's confident.
Where you warn other, fellow women and you tell them, okay, this man is bad, I had a bad experience with him, he's a red flag, do not date this person, right? And you just send out a warning signal to everybody else. And on the surface, it sounds like a very positive thing, right? You're protecting women. Only problem was it essentially became an app where women would just straight up dox men. So if you didn't like someone, you just chat shit about them. You'd maybe even potentially make up lies about them. There's no way to verify any of this information. And essentially wait,
wait, hold on. That's not what doxing is, though. Isn't doxing when you reveal like super private information and shit like that, and like names and addresses and shit along those lines? I feel like expose is a better word, right? Because like there's no way that men are getting doxed off that, right?
No opportunity to defend themselves. Somebody can just post you on this app, call you some sort of PDF file, Epstein, EDP, like complete degenerate freak, right? And you have no opportunity to defend yourself because you're not even allowed on the app, right? Well, it turns out karma works in hilarious ways, and the entire user base of this app was actually doxed, and all their pictures are circulating online right now. So, not so fun when it actually, the turbo tables get flipped and it happens to you, right? So anyways, let's just go over the whole website here. We got T dating safety tools that protect women. Use T to find verified green flag men, right? You run background checks on their...
But like, okay, can we be honest about something? There is absolutely no way that if a woman is gonna write a review on a guy, that it's gonna be a positive one. You know what I mean? Why are you gonna sit there and be like, this guy, I had a really great experience with him? Like, no, you're just not gonna say anything. The only thing you're gonna do is be like, oh yeah, this guy was a fucking piece of shit. Like, let's be real.
Marital status, convictions, okay. Identify potential catfish. Verify he's not a sex offender. Check for a criminal history. So the intentions here are supposed to be positive, warn against criminals and stuff like that. Find good men.
Sounds like a good thing.
1.6 million women dedicated to empowering each other get access to a suite of dating safety tools made for the FBI girlies. That's an interesting statement. Share experiences, seek advice within a secure, anonymous platform. Lovely how the women get to stay anonymous here, but the men they're talking about now, we don't give a fuck about that shit. So here we are in the Apple App Store.
I'm gonna be honest, like that is a little bit cancer. Like 100% women should not be able to anonymously write reviews. Like it should be a thing where if you're gonna write something about someone, that there is a public like domain where people can then message you just like, oh, was he actually like that? Like making that anonymous just doesn't make any sense.
7K ratings, rated pretty high, #1 here. So this is how it's advertised. Get the T on your date. Does anyone have any T on Jake, guys? Avoid dating red flag men. Oh guys, he's actually married, he stopped texting me, oh he ghosted me, chat shit about this person. In some cases maybe true, some cases maybe not. Anonymous advice, should I date Ethan? My friend saw him out with another girl, don't date him, he's just busy. Ask him why only lunch. How innocent here. Definitely nobody's gonna, make fun of their appearances, talk shit about them. Women never done that in their entire life, obviously. Set alerts for your man. Want a heads up anytime Jake is mentioned in your area. Right, so here we are on the about section. The reason they created started it. It was actually a wholesome reason. Founder Sean Cook launched T after witnessing his mother's terrifying experience with online dating, not only being catfished, but unknowingly engaging with men who had criminal records. Realizing that traditional dating apps do little to protect women, Sean knew something had to change. That's why he built T and did nothing to protect men instead. Right, just from that short introduction.
Okay, hold on a second. I think the concept of the app is a good thing. Like, make sure that the guy's not a serial killer, make sure he's not a stalker, make sure he's not like a sex offender, whatever it is, it's good. But the problem is just the fact that it's anonymous. Because anytime you have anything that's anonymous, then people are just gonna make shit up. They're gonna say like a bunch of random bullshit, right? They're gonna like make up lies, make up stories, try to get impressions, likes, whatever it is, you know? So it's like the problem isn't really the concept of the app. The problem is more so everything else. Let's be real. Okay, let's be real. Would any woman have a problem if there was a dating app or like a T app for men where we make an app called Coffee and then you can find out if a woman has been a sugar baby, if she's, let's say, slept around a bunch of like a college or stuff like that, you know? It's like something like that doesn't sound like it would be that bad, right? Because you're just kind of like talking about things, but it just needs to not be anonymous.
Big problems already, right? So the women who are posting the men on these apps, these men never consented to having their pictures put here or being talked about, being advertised to all these women in the city or whatever. And also there's the classic argument of what if men had an app where they took non-consenting women, right? They talked about how ugly they were. They talked about how many people they slept with. Oh, don't ever consider this person as a partner. They've slept with 5 other people or something like that, right? And they called them psychos on this app, etc., etc. They made up stories about it. Obviously, instantly would
oh shit! Wait, they're in the 10 gifts. Prishad.
Be banned, you know, wiped off the face of the earth. Most misogynistic app ever, etc., etc. And obviously, it doesn't make it okay when women do it either. Now, ideally, obviously, everybody sort of uses this app perfectly, and they only talk about very heinous criminals, but obviously it's not going to be used that way. It's going to be a bunch of vengeful, petty, you know, gossiping girls who just want to hate on men as well.
Okay,
and then be
what?
Men's app equivalent would be beer.
Real. I was going to say, you guys want to know what the real problem with apps like these is? It's the fact that people will always talk about the flaws of their previous partners without talking about their own flaws. And it applies to both men and women. Like, a guy's gonna be like, oh man, this girl I was dating, she was crazy, bro. But he's not gonna talk about the fact that he tried fucking her best friend, you know? And then you're gonna have like a woman, for example, that's gonna be like, oh yeah, my ex-boyfriend never put any effort into the relationship, but she like cheated on him a weekend. So it's like the problem is that people always talk about the flaws of their partners, their past partners, without ever addressing why that relationship became the way it did, you know?
But some people who genuinely just want to find a good partner. And it was
Hype Train PogChamp.
The hype train, yep.
Turns out Muda actually made a video on it, and he goes over a couple points here, starting with how do they actually verify the claims being made here?
Now, I tried to see if this was verified anywhere. Like, does T do any form of verification on a lot of the claims that are made, or does it just outright spew whatever bullshit that anybody wants?
Can't escape that, can't run.
To post. Now, I checked into T's terms of services, and they said that the contents are for informational purposes only. T Dating makes no warranty whatsoever that any of this information is accurate, and does not pre-screen content uploaded by users or verify the statement of its users. Now, this is a big problem.
Like, okay, but see, this is the problem. Read this. The content is not intended to be a guarantee of success or positive results, but that's what the app is used for. That's like the problem with all of the apps, right? It's that they're gonna insinuate that they're there for a certain purpose, but then what happens is that they just remove any liability
by users or verify the statement of its
I want the gritty goose emote more hype.
And Wizard, them in the bits.
Users. Now, this is a big problem, okay? Now, dating is a very personal thing, and sometimes breakups are tough. You know, I've broken up with plenty of women, and I'm on good terms with women. I've had women cheat on me. I have had women ghost me, all right? I've had one relationship ghost me, one cheat on me. One I'm on really good terms with.
Okay, yo, am I crazy for saying that I don't even think ghosting is that bad? If someone ghosts you, I don't even think that that's that bad. Like, it's rude, sure, but it's not like a big thing where, oh my god, this person ghosted me. Like, it's not this crazy fucking thing.
One that I just don't talk to, okay? And that's just, you know, that's how relationships work, okay? Breakups can be messy. Breakups can be amicable. Breakups are just things you want to move past as soon as possible. Now, if somebody on this application says that, oh no, does anybody have the T on Jake? well, Jake's really good at making martinis. His speciality is a roofie colada. Now, of course, at that point, you might be like, whoa, I better watch out for Jake. But if T is not doing its job by vetting if that information is true,
And the wizard, they're in the business shot.
whether by a court document or a police report, or I don't know how they're verifying some of these things, you can probably see that defamation, or sorry, in this case, libel, because it's written, would be a pretty serious issue.
I mean, absolutely. We got plenty of legal issues rising up here, defamation, slander, tons of problems actually here for the creators of this app as well, just for enabling this whole thing. And according to their own TOS, right, they are basically completely hands off. And considering the guy made this app to protect women, he doesn't seem to give a single shit about protecting men. And I feel like you should have it both ways there, right? And it seems like you're just going to let people post misinformation.
Well, yeah, I think it definitely is a thing where there should 100% be verification things. Because the truth is that it's not even just a thing where you're protecting men. It's a thing, too, of like, if there's a guy being lied about and a woman would have positive experiences with that guy if she would actually date him, then at that point, you're also protecting the woman's future dating experience just by verifying this, So it's like, it literally helps everyone, right?
And not do a single sort of check there. And I feel like the app is going to be shut down in the next few months. I don't know how the US actually works here, but this app would likely be banned in several other countries for just not complying with the protection policies, the data protection policies here. But anyways, turns out they have some cop-out terms that they've put out to try to avoid any responsibility, right?
Literally reading that you must not use the information on the service to harass, threaten, or intimidate individuals. Context and intent matter as we allow you to post and share.
At Dantes, you're reacting to a guy reacting to a guy. And you're watching.
If it is clear that something was shared in order to condemn or draw attention to bullying or harassment. And again, is it kind of getting into harassment territories when, you have a whole network of gaggling people to fucking follow someone and report if they've seen them with another woman? I mean, it's just a weird thing to do. I almost feel that if a male version of this app existed on the App Store, it would have been removed before I even got a chance to research it. But because it's...
I mean, they should make one just for the fun.
It's suddenly completely okay to talk about. It's trending it and charting at #1. It's wild.
I mean, it's obviously harassment both ways around. It doesn't matter if men are doing it to women or women are doing it to men. It's just not okay. Also, I just love their cop-out TOS there, guys. Don't actually use this to harass men, except your entire app is about harassing men. So how is that ever going to work? And I think it's really just sad to see the state of animosity between the genders here. How many women just seemingly just hate men and vice versa. And I think this is just the consequences of social media in general just becoming more toxic. The amount of TikTok videos I've seen of them bashing the other gender is just absolutely crazy. And I think it's just
Okay, do you guys really want to know why there's a breakdown between men and women right now? So these are 10 women and these are 10 men. What's gonna happen here? Let's say 40 years ago, people used to be like this, right? 40 years ago, it used to be like this. Nowadays, it looks more like this. Because the guys at the top are gonna have more options, a lot of the times, the guys are gonna treat each of their options worse because they have many options. And then the women that get treated like options end up thinking that every man is like that. But then you have the group of men over here and they're like, hey, we're different. So you have this breakdown because women will go after guys that have options, and then when they are treated like an option, they end up ascribing their beliefs towards all men. And then the guys that have no options are like, hey, we'd be different, but they were never given a chance. And dating apps just make this a billion times worse.
Never a good thing to group everyone under one umbrella. If you ever had a bad experience, keep it to that person and maybe that community or whatever. But branding, 50% of the population like that, it's never gonna end well. Then he talks about the absolutely freaky in-app purchases.
What the
And again,
fuck?
phone number lookup. Here's the name, married, age, address.
Bro,
you can just
what?
pull up the doxes on entire individuals. And again, this is not new. Obviously, if you're scared of an application like T, I'm gonna kind of I'm just straight up pull it out for you. There are things you can buy in this application For instance, you can get a monthly subscription service, you can get T Premium, T Pro, reverse image searches, and criminal record checks for $8 a paparoony.
Bro, we're trying to protect women, but if you want to be protected, we're gonna charge you $300 a month. What the fuck?
You want a private background check? $20. Bro, you can order private investigators on this application. That's crazy. That's insane.
Can you imagine just like, look at me
Holy
on my
Christ.
innocent little T app, you know, toodaloo, toodaloo, just gonna hire my local fucking hitman to come to your house and assassinate you. Hire my local PI to look through your window real quick, you know? What's that, an extra $20 that I can literally blow up your house? Hell yeah, sign me up, dude. Also, I find it really creepy that they're literally advertising that you can look up someone's name. I feel like that's just insane, isn't it? That's just sort of incentivizing women to be completely batshit crazy. You know, if some woman feels hurt on behalf of another one, they'll go to their house, start harassing them. You can never tell, all right? A lot of these people are...
Yeah, I mean, like, we've seen that a lot. And do you guys remember those balloon popping videos where it's like a guy's gonna pop a girl's balloon? Though I'll show you the craziest one I ever saw. Keep in mind that this is literally just because this guy said he doesn't like short hair.
Thank you.
Some of the ladies got really upset after this guy said this lady wasn't his type because of her short hair. Did he deserve the backlash?
More so attracted to longer hair. Yeah.
What? Every lady
Hi, I'm
pops!
Sandy. I'm 33. And Sandy, why'd you end up popping your balloon? But that comment about hair, I know your mama got short hair too. She's black. At the end of the day, black women, you don't know what to expect with our hair. We could wear it straight, we could wear it curly, and that was just like too much for me.
Sounds triggered.
It's not triggered. I'm just.
First of all, I didn't say that the hairstyle she had was not good.
You
I
said
just
you don't like girls with long hair. That's not right. You should never said that at all. As a black brother, you should have kept that as what it was. Don't talk to black women up here about hair. That's
Like, what the fuck? Dude, I'm telling you, it's because a lot of the time there's this thing where people get offended on the behalf of others over like the most trivial, meaningless shit ever.
really fucking nuts. So I don't know, it's not going to be anything like if you had a man version of this, obviously a lot of them are going to be insane, so it's not going to be any different for the woman version either. Now it turns out they actually do have a security feature here, guys. Their elaborate defense here is that you can't actually...
I agree with her though. Why? If a girl sees a guy with, I don't know, longer hair and she's like, hey, I'd like it if you, I like guys with crew cuts. No guy's gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm out. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy.
actually screenshot on the app, you know, a foolproof method that prevents any kind of nefarious behavior, protects everyone, obviously.
Now, of course, obviously, how does a man sign up for this application to verify if the claims made about him are not true? You can't, okay? So for instance, I decided I'm gonna fire up the T app. So I downloaded it, installed it on a cell phone, and the thing about this application is you can't actually record the screen or screenshot stuff, okay? So realistically, everything on T must stay on T. And of course, this is a great method, but it really is completely defeated by the other method, which is record your phone screen with another phone, and then you can do
Okay,
whatever.
out of curiosity, $1 billion idea. Is there a way that you can actually make it so that if an app is opened, it makes it so that if the pixels come in contact with the camera lens, that the pixels just become like gray or like black or something like that? Do you guys see what I'm getting at? Like, is that even possible or no? No?
You want.
No way you just did that. My greatest line of defense is gone. He got past the screenshot. Exodia, obliterate. It's invincible. It's impossible.
Yeah,
Dude, there's
but
way
no,
how you
no,
tell me-
no. I don't agree with him on this because the thing is that when you make, so there's something that's called the barrier of entry. The thing is that when you make a barrier of entry even just a little bit higher, it makes it so that a fuck ton of people aren't actually gonna do that thing. Most people, if you can screenshot, they're not gonna whip out their second phone and start taking pictures. They're just not gonna screenshot. So no, I don't agree with this. Like,
Me, I can pull out another device? No fucking way. That's some Archimedes.
yeah, exactly.
Socrates-
It's the same thing with the UK law, right? A lot of people, they aren't gonna steal their dad's ID so they can watch porn. They're just not gonna be able to watch porn nowadays.
Plato, Aristotle. Dude, my brain is ascended. How did he possibly think of that? There's no way any user would ever have thought of that, man. But yeah, jokes aside, what an absolutely pathetic way to say that you have some sort of a defense from, you know, this information being spread. You know, everything definitely stays on the T app, guys. Nobody's posting this shit anywhere else. That shit's about as secure as Frogan's fridge. Now, it turns out the app actually got hacked and like all of the user data was leaked, including stuff like driver's licenses. Now, the company's claiming like this data is like old or whatever, but it doesn't change the fact that a lot of people seemingly just got doxxed here. Here we are on Twitter. The driver's licenses leaked today from the T app have been uploaded to a searchable map. This may be the worst PII leak I've ever seen.
So I actually like heard a little bit about this, and it's even crazier than you think. So it's not even just that everyone's like licenses got leaked. It's the fact that some military woman used their military identification to sign up for the app, and as a result, secret military bases have had their locations leaked. So the person that actually made this map and leaked everything is now getting investigated by the US government for leaking state secrets. I swear to God, it is crazy.
Got a map with a bunch of markers here. Download app to humiliate men. Upload license ID since the Sears app requires identity verification. Vibe coded app gets hacked. Get exposed as the massive whale you are. That's crazy. Hacked in this case means public folders available to the entire internet with zero obfuscation or security.
Jesus.
Right, so then he talks about the leaks.
Because apparently the application got completely hacked by a few 4chaners, dude.
Yeah, now listen,
Driver's licenses
hey,
and
there are 3 people you never fuck with. Remember this, guys. 4chaners, Redditors, what's the third kind? K-pop stans!
get in here before they shut it down. And of course, they appear to show a bunch of these women's driver's licenses, which is a pretty massive privacy risk right over here. I don't have to really say that for it to be obvious. The T-App uploads all user verification submissions to a public Firebase storage bucket with the prefix attachments. So they give a URL. Yes, if you send T-App your face and driver's license, they doxed you publicly. No authentication, no nothing. It's a public bucket. So yes, this user is in fact absolutely right.
That's
because
crazy.
This is not a hack. And for a lot of people that were looking into this, they had found that, yes, by putting in that URL, you absolutely could find attachment files.
God.
And users in this situation did go out of their way to write entire
But wait,
Python
could the woman that had all their information leaked, could they not do a class action lawsuit now against the T-App? 100%, no? Hey, in the States especially, bro, they love lawsuits more than anything else.
scripts to effectively scrape this page. And now there's like a torrent floating around. There's just an entire batch of images floating around of these women's faces, possibly their actual personally identifiable information.
Right, so I'm not gonna show the pictures floating around here, obviously, but as you can guess, we're looking at about 5,000 froggens in the mix, all right? We got some XXXX triple XL, all right?
No, but
so exactly the type of people.
So the craziest thing isn't the fact like of how they look. It's the fact that some men actually ended up making, I'm not even kidding you, an online browser game where every woman has an ELO rating and you can choose which woman out of 2 is more attractive. And they have like the top 50 and bottom 50. And there was like this one girl that has like a 3% win rate. It's insane.
You'd expect, and it's every single time, right? In all of these situations, oh, who's doing the disgusting degenerate doxing? Who's behind that anonymous Reddit account threatening to kill someone? Who's behind the Twitter account harassing someone for a decade? Who's that random Discord mod? Yes, every single time it's some 40-year-old unemployed troglodyte freak every single time. And even in this case, who are the people doxing men, harassing them? Some flippin' middle-aged losers. And is anybody actually surprised by this information? Absolutely not. It just seemingly lines up like the stars align in the universe, you know? Anyways, this next part, he talks about how this app would actually be illegal in the EU because of the data regulation policies there. And nobody really knows why it's allowed in America. It still seems pretty fucking illegal. I don't know, just allowing people to dox people left and right and just, you know, defame them on a regular basis, commit libel or whatever. But yeah, maybe it'll be taken down soon. We'll see.
So there's just a lot of doxing going on. This whole app is a fucking GDPR nightmare, which is one of the reasons why I think it's only in the United States as of now. If this was an issue in like Europe or
Yo, you
Canada,
guys know
where-
motherfucking Donald?
And Beats,
Best
from
hacker in the
welcome.
world.
Thank you.
privacy laws, at least in Europe, are a lot more strict. This would absolutely put the developers of this application in the fucking crosshairs.
But anyways, I wanted to check out some of the reviews and the actual like psychos on this app, right? We got Tiny Girls Gang Mama. Interesting name. Finally an app for the girl's girl. I was skeptical when I first heard this app. I was in one of the various Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook groups. I tried it out when you got frustrated with Beyond making a post anonymously, not being able to comment on others with revealing your identity. So shocked to report everything this app claims to be truly what it is.
No, that's actually crazy.
No one can find your identity. It's open to space for women. No one can find your identity. Interesting, you're so concerned with that, but you don't give a shit about all the men being posted on this app. Literally the entire point of this goddamn app. Like, the hypocrisy is just insane. I initially was concerned it would turn into a high school mean girls situation and it could get ugly fast. It did. However, I was happy to see women uplifting others and not character assassinating men.
When is the day that we have to take off tomorrow? And
Yeah.
Out of jealousy or spite. How do you know this?
But okay, out of curiosity, because he talks a lot about how men are getting harassed, character assassinated, whatever it is, okay? Is there any actual proof of that? Because like I feel like a lot of it sounds like, oh, but what if? Like, is there actually proof of like or like screenshots or images or stuff like that of like women being like, oh yeah, this guy, fuck him, like he's horrible, this, that, you know, like in theory it sounds like okay, it could be bad, but what if in practicality it isn't actually all that bad, you know?
You have no way to verify. Like, if a bunch of men are being slandered on the app, how do you know? You don't know these men personally, right? So how would you even know if it was slander or not? The only reason we can say that is because of the sheer amount of people on that app who are being talked about. It's likely that a lot of them are being slandered, and a bunch of people are also coming out with videos saying that, hey, you know, that they're falsely talking about me, you know, we had a bad relationship, etc., happened, and that's why they went and did this shit. I feel like in this digital dating era, an app like this
fuck
has
the
been
reviews. I want to see where. Okay, here, let's see.
I just don't see a way where somebody doesn't get extremely mad about this.
I don't think the idea of like dating safety is bad. You know, there's a lot of fraud that happens. You know, don't forget that a lady literally fell for a bunch of AI-generated Brad Pitt images and ended up siphoning the shit out of her money because she thought Brad Pitt loved her and he had like crazy super fucking butt cancer the entire time.
Oh, that's not it. I mean, I remember when I made a video on this girl.
Oh my god. Okay, do you guys actually want to hear a fucking crazy story? So I heard this story recently that happened to a woman where she got this call on her phone of someone pretending to be a family member of hers with a voice that sounded similar, probably through like AI or some shit like that. And then she ended up wiring thousands of dollars because she thought they were in like prison and they had to fucking like, they had to get thousands of dollars for like a lawyer or else they were gonna go to jail right away and all that kind of shit. So especially with like voice generation and like AI getting worse or like better, I should say, and everything, like it's gonna be a lot worse,
People
bro.
who thought Billy from Stranger Things was actually in love with her. And she somehow ended up donating money to this guy as well.
Oh my god.
She left her husband for him. And this person was obviously a scammer, not a real person, obviously. Billy from Stranger Things, surprisingly, wasn't actually interested. So yeah, this stuff has been going on for a while. I just find the whole thing ridiculous. And I don't think any well-meaning person should actually go on an app like this because I feel like you're going to see something you just don't want to be a part of. Like,
okay, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like if there was a T version but for men, be honest guys, type 1 if you would download it, be honest, and a girl you're talking to, you would search her up and see. Like, I don't think that the people downloading that are like bad intentioned. Wait, why is everyone typing 2?
You might be there to, you know, filter out the criminals or whatever, but you end up, you know, just participating in doxing and a bunch of like mean-spirited talking on other people as well. So I don't think you want to be involved in that. Then he talks about what kind of people are actually inclined to leave reviews, right?
The red flags, it's a lot like going to Yelp. I feel like most people will review things if they're very negatively impacted, okay? So sometimes a jilted ex could come, completely defame you, say some of the most outlandish shit, and there really isn't any way for you to, I guess, rectify that. Because I don't think most women are going to go on and just immediately write like green flags out of the kindness of their heart, as I wouldn't expect guys to as well. Like I said, reviewing anything positively usually isn't something that people spend their time doing as much as they take reviewing something negatively. And
Yeah,
that's just,
because I mean, it's just how people work. Like a lot of the time, you're not gonna sit there and you're not gonna fucking like talk about how good you found something, but you would go out of your way to talk about how bad it is. You know what I mean?
basic human psychology right there.
I mean, absolutely. I think I've only left a positive review like one time in my entire life, which sounds pretty pathetic, but honestly, I don't know. I ain't got time for that shit, all right? Now, negative reviews, I feel like I have a moral duty to like, I guess, warn people. Usually it's for like food places. Like if I order some like bad food, I give it a 1 star. I want other people to deal with that shit as well. So yeah, even I'm more inclined to leave a negative review. I think in general, most people are inspired to act on anger, you know, disappointment, frustration, sadness.
This is
like
about
that, right?
Asmongold.
Not everybody's gonna be perfect, and you know, remove those experiences from your head, learn from it or whatever, and then remove them from your head, and then move on. Anyways, Asmongold also responded.
And the reason, by the way, women do this, people need to understand this. The reason why they do that is because they want to go out and push this toxic mindset to everybody else that they have, because they have some residual lingering resentment and hate towards men because they were probably treated badly.
But dude, that's why the thing that I really want to know is like, what do the reviews on the app actually look like? You know what I mean? Because there weren't any like leaked reviews from what I saw. Were there? It feels like a lot of this is just what ifs.
Broken up with for a younger girl, or for some reason or another sidelined for someone who is a better option. And honestly, W to the guys, because if you've got some angry that's sitting there on an app complaining, oh no, you shouldn't date him.
What would Asmongold know about women? Wait, you guys know who his girlfriend was years ago, don't you? That's not a joke, by the way. This is his girlfriend for like actual years. I'm not trolling. Asmon got that moldy BWC.
You shouldn't do that. Do you really want to marry that? No, you don't want to marry that. You've got enough problems in your life before you want to sign into something else. You got the red flags, the green flags. Where has this been literally put an area that you live? Bro, this guy, what did he do? 16? Damn. 16 red flags.
You're making up all kind of things about the person.
What do you think? You think women would just go on there and post photos of
Okay,
guys?
wait, hold on a second. T-App leaked comments. Let's actually see if there are any. Dude, what are these AI thumbnails? Well, GG, I guess we can't find the leaked comments. I'm gonna be honest, I just wish that there was actually like more concrete not evidence, but like more concrete examples showing just how toxic the app was. Because I agree that in like theory, it does sound pretty bad, but I wonder if that's actually like how it was used, you know?